This is David Howard Thornton, Mr. Art the Clown himself from the movie Terrifier, and you're watching Death Curse Society.
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Woo! Hello. Welcome to another edition of Death Curse Society's Monday Maniacs. I'm Red Crank. I got Zigzag. I got the Colonel.
Yeah,
you guys.
pretty fucking good.
Oh, man.
Pretty fucking good. I'm just going to say that.
Good. Yeah, tonight's going to be pretty exciting. Here in just a little bit, we're going to have the one and only David Howard Thornton in here. Art the Clown from the Terrifier films himself is going to be talking about the new film coming up, Terrifier 2, drops in theaters Thursday. He's going to be joining us here in about 10 minutes. But, you know, we have our little powwow that we like to do here. So, Colonel,
yeah.
you feeling all right? We're not getting into the sports thing too much. Just you feeling all right this week?
I'm feeling pretty good. Watched a few horror movies in anticipation that they might get reviewed. Just going to say Hocus Pocus 2. Wow.
Uh-oh. Snooze fest?
Dude, I knew it was a cheap money grab, and that's exactly what it fucking was. I'll admit there were a couple parts that actually did make me laugh, but overall, kind of shit.
Wow.
The Munsters, though, I fucking loved it. I'm not going to say it's like the greatest movie I've seen, but I thought it was pretty fucking good. Like,
oh, I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
I want to hear his thoughts on it, but maybe that's, another
we'll save
time.
that for later.
For another day.
Yeah. Good Lord. All right. Looks like some of the crew is here. I'll get to you here in a second, Ziggy. Tyrone's here,
Yeah.
Adam, Tanya, FaZe, Lorena, Patricia, S. Michael. Everybody's on time today. I wonder why. BK's here. A random Facebook user. That may be Luke. I don't know.
Welcome.
It could be Alaskan.
Or it could be Alaskan, yeah. And
these guys, they make it's their business to get banned weekly on Facebook. So
every week
a plethora of new account names come at us, and we don't know who the fuck it is.
Yeah, we never know who the fuck it is. Rachel's here. Orlando's here. Yep. Orlando says, feel like getting hung upside down and getting sawed in half later. Oh, yeah. That is it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
We
should have gotten
like a holiday.
Clip.
It's just like a holiday.
We should have gotten that clip too.
Yeah.
Vicky, how was your week?
It's crazy because it was really a bunch of highs and lows this week. Looking forward to today because we weren't sure things were going to go down how we wanted. So we were in the movie theaters and watching a bunch of fucking movies just in case. We had to call the audible and run with the backup plan. But thankfully, well, I don't know. Let's keep our fingers crossed so far. Hopefully, we're going with the big hype show that we've been pushing and hoping for. And this should be a lot of fucking fun, man, because we don't always get the biggest people in here. We're more kind of the people on the way up. We're catching them this time we caught one that's already pretty much there. I mean, if the horror fans fucking know, Terrifier is a cult classic already in the 6 years it's been around. And shit, man, I'm so excited for the second one, and that concerns me too because it could be a fucking letdown. But how could it be? How the fuck could it be with the goodness, the practical effects? God damn, I'm pumped for this.
Yeah, I know you are. I definitely know you are for sure. It was a good week.
Colors tonight.
I just know you guys. I know you guys are really pumped for this release. So
yes,
I am too. In a way.
I do have my backer shirt from We Back Terrifier 2 in this. The Death Curse Society was on board as soon as they announced that shit. But
so yeah, so we can hit him with the 1-2 punch.
Bought a T-shirt. Maybe I'll go find it here when we, not quite sure where it is, dude. There's hundreds of shirts here, man. Hundreds.
That's true. Before we get him in here, let me thank our special members. Thank you for supporting the society. Our final girls, Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone. And our crazy Ralph, Raymond. And our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave.
Oh, it worked.
It worked this time.
Goodness gracious. You never know. I was like, oh, fuck. I just was turning it on, and sometimes it's got to boot up and everything, and all that good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a couple more minutes to kill here. So you like the Munsters, huh?
Woo, I did. The aesthetics were fucking great. And it made sense after doing some research, reading some interviews where Universal said, do not film this in black and white. What? So Rob Zombie's like, okay. Well,
okay. Let's go with
that. I fucking can. So there you go. Which feels totally fucking Halloween, man. You had tons of corny jokes and shit like that, which is the fucking Munsters. If you guys haven't seen it before, I thought it was good, man. I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie I've ever seen. I was impressed Rob Zombie fucking wrote that damn thing. The acting was okay. I mean, the characters fit, and the very end was a chef's kiss. When it did go black and white, there's of course there are some things I would have liked to have seen. Some things I would have liked taken out, like a good 20 minutes of the fucking movie, because it was a little bit long.
You know what?
No complaints, man. It was a fun starter Halloween movie for kids. Fuck. My 13-year-old zoning the fuck out on her phone the whole time. The 5-year-old was zoning the fuck in the entire fucking movie, man.
Well, yeah, it's colorful.
Yeah. And that's it, though. That's what I thought, too. I mean, I watched it and went like, boy, this is a hard watch. I mean, just trying to get into it, knowing what it is. But after I processed it a couple of days, I thought, I see where they were going with it. And I do think the Munsters could be like that popular Halloween tradition, you know what I mean? Because it does look that way, and they crammed in, especially if you're a fan of the decor of that time, the 60s and 70s, you're going to be visually treated to this fucking movie. You're going to love it because it's crammed full of all that shit. But, man, there was no conflict, really. That was my biggest problem with it. It's like Grandpa was the biggest conflict in it, So I get it. They kind of went with that sitcom, but it's exactly like, what if Rob Zombie made a kids movie? Hell yeah, this is it. Yeah. And it's safe for everybody in the family. Is it going to spawn more? I know they set it up that way, but I just don't know yet, man, 'cause there is a lot of fucking hate coming from that shit.
Right.
I could have directed Shawshank Redemption and kept it exactly the same, and people are going to shit on it.
I will leave it at this. I'm just shocked that the Munsters did not include some kind of off the set like trailer park, scene that would have made it a Rob Zombie movie altogether right there, and that would have tied it all in for me. But no, I thought it was pretty awful. But let's leave it at that. Because our guest is in the green room waiting to be coming in. So, gang from Terrifier and the upcoming Terrifier 2. Here he is, Art the Clown himself, Mr. David Howard Thornton. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great, David.
I get applause.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
We got the canned applause in here. So,
woo! I feel like I'm in a real sitcom.
That's right.
Welcome, man.
It's Three's Company, the Zoom edition.
Well, that's just great, there, Mr. Tripper.
Lovely.
Right away.
Oh,
How
man.
are you, sir? How are you?
I am good, and I have a cat coming in.
All right.
You're not the only one.
As they do.
My cat will arrive sometime tonight during the interview, I promise.
Oh yeah, they always do this. They always do that.
And
it's always
as-
the butt. It's
As
always
all
the
cats
butt.
do, we're getting the full
Look at
shot of
that.
the ass.
Look
There it
at
is.
that. Look
Yes.
at that. Hey, your butt's on screen.
Get that cat an OnlyFans account. And you'll be
Yeah.
rolling in it.
So how's it going, man? This is it. You're down to the last week, and the big release is coming. We've had a couple of small premieres around, but man, you got to be hitting the trail hard now, right? I mean,
it's been pretty crazy recently. I can't complain. We're doing a red carpet event this Wednesday here in Union Square, which I'm stoked about. I've never done an actual red carpet before, so at least I don't have to worry about Joan Rivers anymore insulting what I'm wearing or anything like that. So
Look at that flannel he's got on. Oh, it's hideous.
Wait. Black tie and stuff, tuxedo? Or are we putting on the outfit, or what are we doing?
I'm doing something a little bit different in tribute to another killer clown. I'll just leave it at that. You'll have to wait and see.
I like it.
I have a pretty
I
good
can't be
guess, so
normal.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I can't do the typical just tuxedo. That's too boring.
Yeah, I would have said, this is, at least dump a bucket of blood over your head before you head to the carpet.
Oh yeah, they probably wouldn't let me in that way though. They're like, oh no, sir. Well, it is New York, so you never know though.
We'll just put some plastic sheets down on the seat, and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, it's just be like going to Gallagher.
Yeah, exactly.
Front 3 rows, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Colonel, get us kicked off. I'll save the first question for you this time around.
I'm going to keep it simple because here we are. Like I said, this is launch week. We're ready. But man, the reviews from England have been raving. Like, I know you had a little premiere last week. So how are you feeling? What's the anticipation for you? How this movie is going to be received once the majority of the horror community can finally get their eyes on it? Because I've been dying for this movie for 2 years.
I'm feeling relieved. That's what I'm feeling right now, because this has been 3.5 years since I read the script, and about 3 years ago this month we started filming this beast of a film. So it's a relief to finally get this thing out, and it's a relief to finally be able to talk about everything that's going on in the film too once everybody sees it. So I'm like, it's just great. It's been a lot of work, a lot of hard work. We didn't anticipate COVID, because this was only supposed to be a 3-month shoot, and we were hoping to get it out in 2020. Then COVID totally messed everything up, but at the same time it kind of helped us in a lot of ways, because it gave us more time to really do what we wanted to do with the movie, especially with the kill scenes, because Damien had time to build things. So it's like, hey, let's go crazy with these kill scenes now.
Right. Well, you mentioned the script. What was it when Damien was working on the script? Was he sending you pages at a time or scenes at a time, or did you have to wait until the whole script was done?
I didn't see any pages or any of the scenes, but he would sometimes just text me ideas he had for things. He would just run things by me, and sometimes I would maybe contribute an idea or two or something like that. Like, hey, what if we did this and this? And he'd take that into consideration, not necessarily actually do it. So, but it's like, that was kind of fun having some kind of, input on what was going on into the whole process of, writing this thing. But like that, he basically, wrote the whole entire thing himself. And I didn't see it in the whole entire script until he invited me over to his apartment in January 2019. And he's like, I want you to just read this in front of me. I'm like, okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I had so much fun reading it. I was giddy the whole entire time, and he could tell where I was in the script just based on my reactions to things too. He's like, "Oh, you're at this point." I'm like, "Yep." Oh, this is great. I'm gonna do what?
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
What did
the anticipation? I'm sorry, just because of things like the scene and the fucking beheading and just the carving of a human head in the first one.
Yeah.
I shudder to think what is in store for us in a couple of days here.
You have a lot to shudder about, because oh boy, it's just that's something I think he took as a personal challenge. It was like, okay, we got to top the infamous hacksaw scene, and I think he did it in spades. And again, that's one of the like the areas where COVID kind of helped us, because we started filming like the very beginning of that scene right before we went to lockdown here in New York. And, we had just done the beginnings before we actually had to start bringing in the prosthetic work and stuff like that. And then COVID happened, and he's like, well, shoot, we got months before we can probably film again. That gives me time to build things. So I'm going to go revamp this whole entire scene, and also the opening scene of the movie as well, because we hadn't shot that yet either. And I'm going to just extrapolate, go crazier with this. Like, we might as well. We got the time. Might as well just, bat for the fences. So, like, what we had intended to originally film would have sufficed. But he's like, nah, let's just totally give the fans what they want to see. So we went crazy. And that's part of the reason the movie is as long as it is, because we went crazy with some of these scenes. We're just like, yeah, it's excessive. But, oh well.
Yeah. When you walked in and he laid down it sounds like over 120-page script in front of you and said, enjoy. Were you thinking this is almost twice as long as the original script? What was going through your head there?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was definitely, I wouldn't say it was like 120 pages long. I think it was about 90 pages.
Really?
Yeah, it's just because the scenes we do, it's because a lot of it is just like, less dialogue, I guess you could say, is what's made it longer, because there's so much just action. Like the last third of the film is just one big, huge fight scene, basically. So yeah, that's what's made it so long. It's just like, that's just a few pages right there in the script, but that's about 40 minutes of the movie right there. So it's crazy. But I it's definitely a much more ambitious script this time around, especially with story. There's a lot more story this time around, especially with Sienna. We're really trying to, because the first film was really kind of almost a proof of concept film. It was just to showcase art. Now people know about art. Now let's bring in a good protagonist that can actually go to toe with this guy. And so it's her whole origin story in a lot of ways, like how she becomes this force of nature that is supposed to be, the opposite side of the coin of art. And so that was what I was really excited to see. I was like, oh, cool. Now I got a really, really good nemesis this time around. So, and we cast an amazing person for this role too. I mean, I think this whole entire film hinged on that fact. It's like, if we don't get the right person for this role, everything's going to fall flat, because we're happy to have, what some people call a new icon in art, but we really wanted to introduce a new protagonist, a good kick-ass final girl in like the lines of like Ellen Ripley, it's just like,
okay.
So that's what we've really focused on. And Lauren Lavera, who plays Sienna, is damn. Damn, she's good. She's good. She elevated my game even. It was just like because we worked so well together and we just played off of each other. And it's like, yeah, she really makes this movie.
Nice. All right, Colonel, what else you got?
I mean, speaking of Sienna in the fight scene, I don't want to give any notes, and I don't want any spoilers. So I'll change my question.
Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
Okay. Have any of you seen it yet?
We have
Friday,
not seen it yet.
10 p.m.
Okay, gotcha.
Saturday at 6:30. So
Thursday at 7:30. So.
Awesome. So we got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here. Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. I'm going to be the last one to watch it. Honestly, no spoilers.
Oh man, and this one has been top of the list. Evil Dead's up there too, obviously, but Terrifier, it was special. And when that one came out, I personally was like, finally, we've got something that gives a nod to the 80s style of slasher and still brings a fucking iconic character that can stand with any one of those fucking guys. And I mean that. So, I mean, for this one to come out, and maybe I'm putting the bar way high on it for you guys. It could be a bad thing, but I mean, I can't help it. I'm stoked for this,
We're stoked too. We feel good about it, but we all also know we don't want it to be the best thing ever, because we want to make more of these, and we just don't want that to be the pinnacle of it. We want to keep improving on it.
Oh, trust me, I have a feeling. I'm glad you said that because there has to be more of these. I'm looking forward to this. Like, again, not trying to toot your horn, but I think the horror community in general agrees that Art the Clown is the first real contender. Yeah. I think we've had a long time to reach legendary status.
Which is insane. It's insane because it's not for lack of trying.
No, I agree. I mean, like Victor Crowley, I'm a huge fan of the Hatchet movies.
Yeah.
But he never took off like I thought he would.
Leslie Vernon for me would have been.
Oh my god!
I would have loved to have seen a couple more of those.
Oh my god! Yeah, I love that movie. I finally saw it a few years ago. I was like, "Holy crap! This is fantastic! Why don't people know about this movie?"
And they did a crowdfund and failed for a second chapter. You know, I mean,
that's a shame too because Nathan was fantastic in that.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Like, the chef's kiss. That's what we talk about often. Like, man, why did people not know this movie? Like you said, it's so good and so original.
Yeah.
Well, and thing with Art, I think for me, it's just there's no voice. He just stares and looks. It doesn't even when he's laughing. He says nothing. It's there's something fucked up about that, you know. But it just works, and you bring in the best. I mean, All Hallows Eve, that guy, he did his own thing too. And I see where you guys kind of shared a couple of things, you know what I mean? But you've really, really made this your guy. And that's what I was even thinking, like down the road, like Friday the 13th, 25, 30 years up the road, will we see Art the Clown, different actors portraying this and trying to mimic your performance now?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, that'll be kind of cool, you know, because I know I definitely can't play him forever. I can't be like 70-something years old and still doing that kind of stuff. That would be, oh no.
It'd be lovely though if there was that debate going around that was like Robert Englund. No one but Robert Englund can play Freddy. You know, 25 years later, we're like, no one but David Howard Thornton can play Art the Clown.
I don't think we're too far from that.
If that happens, I'd be very humbled by that. But it's like, you know, it's who knows because I mean there's so many talented people out there, so you never know who might be inspired by what I'm doing. Like I was inspired by, you know, Doug Jones and, you know, Rowan Atkinson and all these other people that came before me.
Nice.
What do you think Rowan Atkinson would think of indirectly having a hand in creating this monstrosity?
Oh, I have no idea. I think he would find some humor in that, but he was like, you've got to be kidding me.
By the way, Colonel Rowan Atkinson is the actor that plays Mr. Bean. Yeah. By the way,
yes, I'm aware.
Okay, the one that you were the character you were giving me shit about last week. I just want to say,
I
love Mr. Bean. I ain't talking shit about Mr. Bean. I'm just talking about your shit on your sense of comedy. That's all.
I mean, how can you shit on Mr. Bean? I mean,
exactly. That's great.
That is
fair enough.
Comedy to me. That is
great.
I can watch those episodes over and over and over and over and still laugh as hard every single time because it's his delivery. His delivery is just perfection.
Yeah. Oh,
and there's the
cat.
Yep. I have bad pussy control.
We don't own the rights to that song, so we can't play it. But, you know. Hey, you did mention it. One of the critiques of the original Terrifier was kind of the lack of story and even, of course, a backstory for Art in a way. I know you don't care. Some have called it oversimplified and maybe even a little exploitative. Is this sequel going to answer some of the fans' questions, or is it going to stay steeped in that exploitative nature?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I always like to address the fact when people say there was no story to the first film. And actually, there was a story, and it's actually very much akin to like the Killing Joke, where it's not Art's story, it's Victoria's story. It's all about how it takes one bad day to make a perfectly sane person go batshit crazy. And that's what it is. That's the story of what broke this perfectly normal girl into this sadistic, murderous she-devil, I guess you could say. Okay. That's the story I think of, part one. I think that just gets lost on people, but oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I think part of the fun about Art is the mistake behind him, not knowing who he is necessarily. And, especially the first film, we kind of wanted the audience basically be in the same position as the girls where it's just this force of murderous nature that comes upon them, and they have no idea what this is about, what they had done, anything to incur his wrath or anything like that. And that's what we were going for there. But I kind of look at Art kind of like the Joker too. It was like, he's more fun when you don't know everything about him. That mystique there, that little bit of mystery. But I mean, in part 2, I will say we definitely ask a lot more questions than we answer. And I think that's actually been some of the criticism we've gotten for part 2, that we're not really answering things yet. We have a lot of things that happen and people are like, what the heck? And it's like, we actually do answer a lot of that. We just do it very, very subtly. And if you know where to look, you'll find some answers in there. But we don't like to treat our audience like they're stupid. And I think part of the fun is like, this is not, we're not just trying to do one movie, then one movie, and one movie. We're looking at this as an overall overarching story. So you don't just like the Harry Potter books, you had mysteries that would develop in like book 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that, and they don't get resolved until several books later, and you're like, oh, that's what that was referencing to, like the locket with RAB on it and stuff like that. And we kind of do that in part 2, where we introduce some new elements, but we might not necessarily answer them verbatim right there in the film. We kind of want the audience to come up with their own theories, because I think that's kind of fun too. I mean, that's what I enjoy about some book series, is like coming up with those theories, like, okay, what's going on? Then they finally do get insert. And that's what we're trying to do with this as well, because we kind of enjoy reading the fan theories ourselves.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I've avoided every bit of feedback for anybody that saw it. I don't want anything. I want to go in fucking cold, man. And I've done it. So.
You'll have fun, because there's one bit that I've been amazed that we were able to keep secret for so long. We were all so worried about this one bit of the film leaking, and of course this has been mentioned a few times in reviews, but that's these reviews are usually spoiler filled anyway, so there you go. But considering that this was kept secret this whole entire 3 years, it's a fun moment, and it's actually one of those areas where there's going to be a lot of questions around this moment too. So I'm like, it's a fun little beat in the movie, though, or character, I would say.
Oh,
man. I'm looking forward to it, because I'll be honest with you, ever since the trailer, I got to figure out what's up with that creepy ass kid eating Art cereal.
Oh man,
I have to know.
Yeah, kids are creepy, aren't they?
Yes,
kids are always creepy.
Yeah.
What have I always said? The white eyes, the bleeding white eyes, that is always a win in my book.
Oh God, that's the thing that always gets me to her, like ghost kids. That kind of stuff always freaks me out.
That Village of the Damned look.
Oh God, it's just I mean, we even had this one area on set in one of the locations we're filming at, Fright Factory in Philly. It's a big, huge haunted house. And they had this one room that's just filled with dolls. And I just did not like that room at all. And they had this one doll in there that is it's on a swing, and it's motion sensitive, something like that. And it starts swinging and starts like singing to itself, "Come play with me." La, 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 la. And the thing is, this whole building is on a power grid, so you can turn off different sections. So I'm like, we weren't using that room or that area of the place that night, so the power's turned out in that area, and we're on set, and we hear that fucking doll go off. Everybody that was in that building was on set with us in the area we were at, so like there was no one else that could have set that thing off, and there was no power to that room. Yet that thing still went off, and we're all just like, "Oh no, nope, fuck that, no."
Time to go. We're done. We're done filming for the day.
Even the people that own the building were like, "Oh yeah, we don't like that room. That's the most haunted area of this attraction." It's just like stuff always happens in that room. I'm like, oh, I can believe that, because that room just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Feeding
Nice.
off the mojo going on around it. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Let me hit an audience question real quick, and then we'll come back to Colonel for another one here.
Sure.
By the way, gang, if you're watching, you got a question for David, throw it in the comments, and we'll try to get to as many of them as we can. Patricia asked, David, were there any kill scenes that were difficult for you to do?
I'm guessing she's talking about part 1 and part 2 too.
Maybe either one, yeah.
Yeah, I would say part 1 was more difficult, though. It's the hacksaw scene, but it wasn't, emotionally difficult for me to do because I knew that was all fake. So I was just like, yeah, this is just going to be a gnarly kill scene. I can separate fact from fiction in that way. But what was real about it was, Catherine was really hanging upside down like that, and that's a very dangerous thing to do to somebody
for an extended amount of time.
Yeah, and it was extremely cold in there that night. It was like 20 degrees. And we had no heat, and so I know I was freezing cold. I know she was definitely cold because she's naked and covered in fake blood. And we only had like 30 seconds of time to film because we would swing her back up so she could rest because, it's so dangerous to do that. And, it was just a very stressful, miserable night for us all, especially her. So it was like, we were glad when we got through that. But, like when I actually got to cut through the prosthetic, oh, that was fun. That was fun.
Now, Damien, he's primarily the special effects guy in Terrifier, correct?
Yeah.
Does this continue on, or do we have a team working this now? What are we doing?
Yeah. Originally, he had hired some people to help out, build a lot of the prosthetics just to cut down on his workload. But they ended up bailing about a few weeks before we started filming. So he had to take all that on himself. And luckily, we found another person, our amazingly talented makeup assistant, Jackie, who came in. And Damien would be doing my makeup, but she would be doing everybody else's makeup, and especially like Sienna's, because especially for her, what she wears, later on in the film, and she's got all these extreme braids and stuff like that in her hair, and of course, she had all these wounds on her as well, and so, Jackie would help do all that, but it was basically Damien and our producer Phil.
Phil Falcone.
Yeah, Phil Falcone. Yeah, I'm doing all the prosthetics. Damien was teaching Phil how to do all this kind of stuff, and that's what would happen. We would film for a little while, then we would have to break for like a week or so just so they could build things because we didn't have a team to come in and do all that stuff and just keep all that going through. So that kind of sucked, but that's the thing. In a way, it helped us because it saved us a lot of money on the budget, that we weren't having to pay outside sources to do this kind of stuff. So it gave us more money to play around with in the long run. And we utilized every dime of that to the full extent.
And it looks good too. I mean,
it looks great.
First one, it turned out great. I mean, I know that you guys did a little bit of CGI on the head carving. Probably just the fire on the eyes, I would imagine. That was probably it.
Yeah. I think they did us a little bit this is on Part 2 is what I was talking about with all this. But part 1, Damien did all the prosthetics and all that stuff himself, and Phil helped him with that too. But we didn't have really a makeup assistant except for like the main girls to make them pretty.
Right.
So,
that's great.
Damien's like, I don't want to do all the beauty stuff. Let's have someone else come and do the beauty stuff. I want to make people look horrible. But
Nice.
yeah, there was a tiny bit of CG in part 1. Like I mean, we actually did put candles in the eyes of that head, and it caught fire. We're like, oh god, we almost burned down the place. Not really, but the other places I know we use some CG was like when I shoot myself in the end, and you see blood trickling out of my eyes. That's CG, and the other place is kind of funny because it's most people don't even notice it. But it's when I'm wearing the skin suit, my Buffalo Bill moment. He had to CG this bright white tube sock that I was wearing to cover my junk up, because I'm most people don't realize, but I'm not just wearing the scalp and the boobs of my victim. I'm also wearing her vagine. So, and the prosthetic just didn't cover everything up. So read into that as you will, ladies.
There you go. That's right.
And I was just stupid enough to bring a bright white tube sock to set instead of a black one because I just didn't think. And I'm like, I show up and I come out, and so they, ta-ta! They're like, oh no! So they had to digitally remove that bright white showing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another viewer question here. Orlando asks, will the character of Victoria make an appearance in Terrifier 2? That may be spoilery.
Yes. We've already shown some production images of her and stuff like that earlier this year, so she will be there. I will say stay during the credits.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Always a good tip.
We're
along
pulling
with
Marvel there.
Nice. Well, along with that question, I also noticed that according to IMDb, which is sometimes incorrect, they have Jenna Cannell and Catherine Corcoran listed as Tara and Dawn in the credits for Terrifier 2. Are these flashbacks? Are these recaps, like classic 80s recap scenes? Or
No, it's nothing like that. It's just their images are used.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just it's.
But I thought.
I don't want to give people get their hopes up over that. No, it would have been great having them back. Oh my god, I would have loved to have had them back.
Yeah,
because they're so much fun to work with. I love both of them so much. So, but who knows what could happen in future films? It's just like, especially since we were delving into the supernatural aspects of all of this pretty heavy in part 2. So,
I can't wait to see what you guys came up with to explain all that. Because, we've been to a couple of panels over the last couple of years. Heard you guys not really say anything and ask pointed questions trying to get something, but
we explain it but don't explain it at the same time. We leave that for the audience to infer. But we fully address, he was brought back to the dead by some supernatural thing. So we fully embrace the supernatural side of the character, and this is like we're not trying to skirt around that issue like a lot of other franchises do, where it's like, that's how he comes back from the dead. He's supernatural now.
Well, based on that, I have to show off this comment then, because S. Michael says, well, thanks for coming on the show. Also, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And he says, we see Art come back to life at the end of Terrifier. Is he a Deadite?
Oh, that would be a fun theory. That's a fun theory.
Art versus Ash.
Oh my god, that would be epic. Because I know Damien would love to work with Bruce Campbell on this property somehow. So that meant, I don't know.
There's a crossover.
I know that Jason's a Deadite, so.
According to Adam Marcus, he is.
Yep, that is canon. He is a Deadite. So.
Oh Lord. Yeah. There's a debate coming up on these airwaves.
Oh, I know.
I struggle with that one. I'm like, but especially since they wrote it and it's in the film. So
especially since back in the day, they wanted, after they did Freddy versus Jason, they wanted to do a Freddy versus Ash versus Jason movie.
Right.
And I'm like,
yes.
Oh, it would just been so much charisma on screen at once. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, and no studio wanted to work with each other to make that happen.
Yeah,
which blows my mind.
Get it? Do people just not like money?
They don't like money.
It's just like, exactly. My God, that would have been amazing.
My ball's shinier than yours.
Oh my God, it's just, oh my God, I can only imagine like Ash going up against Art. Oh my God, that would be insane.
That'd be fun.
Damn.
Because both especially have so much excessive gore.
Yes.
I mean, we have that Raimi level of gore and craziness to our films too, so it would totally work.
Yeah, which is what really drew me into the first Terrifier movie, because like you said, it's like, holy fuck, it's like watching a Raimi movie with all fucking blood.
Yeah.
And I'm a gore whore. So that kind of leads me to the next question. I was going to save it later for the interview, but now's as good a time as any. So I know you're a gamer.
Oh yes.
And
here we go again.
Art and Evil Dead. Well, how would you feel if they were Dead by Daylight, as much as I'm not a fan of the game, were to approach you and Damien like, hey, we'd like to use your likeness, add you to the game as one of the killers? Like, is that like a dream for you, or would you rather have like your own, reach that level of popularity one day, but kind of have your own spinoff, like Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns is getting, and
Yeah. I think either one of those would work, but I think right now, because we're still building the lore of Art, so I think it's too early for his own exclusive game in that realm. I think, yeah, we've definitely, I know Damien and I have talked several times about Dead by Daylight. We would love that to happen. I think that
Wow.
would be such a great addition. You know, it's like they just have to contact us, I guess. I think Dame would be like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. I mean, I would love that. I would also love, because this goes back. I've been a lifelong, well, not lifelong, but ever since the series came out, I've been a huge fan of it. Since my mom would not allow me to play this, so I'd go over to my friend's house and play. It was Mortal Kombat. I want him to be a DLC character in the next Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, that'd be badass.
I mean, God, the things you could do, because you could do the kind of moveset the Joker characters had in those games, or like the Injustice games, and just, you know, his little bag of tricks pulling out different things and stuff like that. The fatalities, oh my God, there's so many options, especially after see part 2 for fatalities. It's just like, I think it'd just be such a great fit in either Dead by Daylight or Mortal Kombat.
It might get me to actually come back to Dead by Daylight if they pull up Art the Clown in there. But
there's probably some hackers watching. Make this happen. Put Art the Clown in a Mortal Kombat game and send it to us.
God, I would be so happy. I would be so, because I love those games so much. I was like, please bring me in to do the mocap. I would be so excited to go in to do the mocap for that. Oh my God, that would be a dream come true. I would be a kid in a candy store.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Going over the Nether Realm. Oh my God,
I hope somebody sees this.
Yeah, come on, come on. Ed Boon, hello.
I've got Terrifier 1, Dread Central took the ball and ran with it and got you guys some notoriety with it. Where the hell were they for this one? You would think this would be a no fucking brainer for them to be involved with 2.
I don't know if I can really talk on that issue and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Because I wasn't involved with all that kind of stuff, so I don't really know all the details. But I think someone dropped a ball there.
Yeah,
no one's watching. Just it's just us. No one's watching.
Yeah,
you don't want to be out of class. I understand. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah.
But I mean, we've been so happy with Cinnadime and Bloody Disgusting. It just that just seems like the perfect fit, because I mean, we shopped it, you know, of course, Dread Central got first refusal and stuff like that, and it just didn't work out. And so we started shopping around to different people, and the best offer we got came from Bloody Disgusting and Cinnadime. It's like they gave us more than we were even expecting or anticipating or anything like that. It's like we for one, we never expected to be put in theaters. I mean, Damien and I had talked about, that would be so cool, because this is totally the type of film that needs to be seen in a theater. But we're like, but considering the content matter of this film, you know, it's like, if we had to go by the MPAA, we would have gotten probably an NC-17 rating. So we're like, it's highly doubtful. So we didn't anticipate that now, you know, what Cinedime's done is got us in over 800 theaters nationwide.
Yeah.
Just for a weekend. But hell, I mean, this is unprecedented. This is
you guys.
It's unprecedented.
This should go number 1 for that category, I think, easily for that weekend. Because, like, I mean, and I saw around here anyway in Michigan, a couple of theaters, they run it through Sunday, and then another set picks it up the next week.
Yeah,
like a little further out from where I am, you know. So, but I mean, even some of them are showing a double feature of 1 and 2. I didn't get that lucky.
I think it's great. But that's the thing, is like these guys have. These 2 companies have been knocking it out of the park for us. They've done so much publicity for it. I mean, like there's even some of the showings at these festivals. They made barf bags.
I saw that,
and I'm like, that's amazing. This is so great. But it's like, it just seemed like such a perfect fit, because Bloody Disgusting was, you know, talking about us the moment we released Terrifier 1. They were one of the few places that we're talking about us. From the very get-go, they were on our side, spreading the word, and it's because of them and like Halloween Daily News and a lot of those, you know, other horror sites. That's why Netflix eventually picked us up. It's them and the fans just talking about it. So it's like, it just seemed like a natural fit for Bloody Disgusting to come in and, you know, help us just distribute this film. And
We were-
they did it with, they weren't going to cut anything. They're like, no, we want everybody to see the version that Damien wanted released, which is great because a lot of other people we shot to were like, oh, we got to cut this, and this, and this. And
So like this is the second one, right? Nobody's.
yeah,
They said run with it because I remember that was the
Yeah.
thing at the panel in Cincinnati back in March. You guys, he said distribution. He goes, we're going to be out by Halloween, hell or high water. I don't know how yet because I'm not cutting one fucking frame out of this.
yep.
That was his word, and
Yep.
it sounds like he got it.
He did that. This is his vision. I mean, we know like some of the criticisms we've already had for us because it runs a little long and stuff like that. He's like, oh yeah, we know it. But he told the story he wanted to tell. He put everything in there that he wanted to put in there, and he said he wouldn't change that for anything. It's like this is his director's cut. This is what he wanted people to see.
Nice. Well, Terrifier, like you just mentioned, with the assistance of Netflix, once it got caught there and kind of caught wildfire after that, kind of ended up being one of those under the radar favorites for a little while. And besides your ultimately creepy take on Art, what do you credit for the success of Art the Clown in the horror genre as a slasher? Is it because audiences are desperate for a new horror slasher, or what else is there to it?
I think there's lots of things that go into that. I mean, first of all, I think it's his charisma. It's like I look at Art as being a love letter to slasher villains in general because he's a little bit of every single slasher villain that has come before him. There's Freddy, Chucky, Jason, Mike Myers, Pinhead, Leatherface, Jigsaw. All those guys are inside of Art. Little bits of their personalities and characteristics are inside of him, and it's he has that silent natures, Jason and Mike, but he also has that fun, charismatic side that Freddy and Chucky have, and I think it's that blend of all that really grabs people, and plus he has a cool look to him too. It's just like. It's very that the whole black and white look, and then he progressively just gets bloodier and bloodier as the film progresses. Is such a great look, and he's got such a haunting visage as well. So it's like Damien captured lightning in a bottle with that character. So I think that's part of it, but I also think, as you said, a lot of it has to do with our kill scenes. It's like we're actually showing kill scenes again. We're showing the gore. We're not doing this off-screen kill bullshit, all CG, blood, all that kind of stuff. We're giving the fans what they want to see in a slasher film, and that's the kills. Okay. And that's because the people making Terrifier are huge slasher fans themselves. So we're making the movies that we want to see. It's a movie by fans for fans, and I think it's not made by a Hollywood studio that's just interested in dollar signs, just trying to mass produce whatever. There's real heart behind it.
Okay,
and I think that's what the fans pick up on. It's like, yeah, this is made by someone that actually loves this genre.
Fuck yeah, and that's obvious. It comes through and just glaring.
Yeah,
with what you guys gave us, man. So yes.
Well, that leads me to want to ask about what do you feel about the state of horror in general currently? With
I think
what's popular now.
Yeah, I think we're starting to seeing a new renaissance. There's a lot of good stuff coming all of a sudden, and I'm so happy to see that, and I'm so happy to be part of that. And like I'm looking like a lot of the stuff like Ty West has been doing, like Pearl and X, and of course upcoming Maxine. I haven't been able to see Pearl yet. I can't wait though. I've heard great things.
It's fascinating.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, because I loved X. I thought that was fun. I thought that was a fun film. It's just like I'm glad to see people taking risks again and doing new things and coming up with fun new characters. So it's like right now I'm just amazed with the content that is coming out. Like this Halloween season, I'm just like, holy crap! There's so much coming out. I'm excited to see the new Hellraiser series as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love the look of Jamie Clayton's Pinhead.
Mhm.
Totally makes sense to me because, Pinhead's supposed to be androgynous anyway,
Right.
Yes.
according to the literature. So I was like, yeah, that works. That totally works. And so I love that we're releasing the same week. I'm like, this is great. I can't wait to see what they do with that. And,
Yeah.
Fun little thing too is like I was approached last year to be part of it, but unfortunately I was working on multiple projects at the time. I wasn't able to get away from it. It's like I was like, I still sent in my audition because I'm like, yeah, but I was like, there's no way I can do this. Because I think they had, I might be wrong, but like at least what I heard from my agent, they had to film in Serbia for a few months. And I was like, oh, I can't leave. I mean, that might have changed by the time they actually filmed, so I don't know. But that's what I heard from. And I was like, man. But I was just like, but I want to be part of it so badly.
But it's Hellraiser.
Yeah. They were looking at me for the Chatterer role.
Oh,
I had a feeling with Hellraiser. I was seeing you with the Chatterer. Like,
and I was like, man. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So it's just like that's the universe for you. It's just like things happen the way they're supposed to happen. So I hope whoever's playing Chatter in this, I hope they do a fantastic job, and I hope this leads to new things for them as well.
I've seen he's really tall. I've seen photos of him recently.
Oh, he looks great.
Yeah,
it looks great. Yeah, I think they say 6'7", like
6'7", I think. Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
That's all I know about him though so far.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. He looks awesome. I've seen the photos. I'm like, oh, that looks good. That looks good. I'm loving the makeup designs in it. This is good. So I'm sure he's going to be fantastic.
Well, you mentioned you couldn't do Hellraiser because you were attached to working on some other projects. I happened to check out something about a movie called Stream that's in post-production now that you're a part of with. You might as well just throw the plethora cast out with everybody in the horror world in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Roebuck, Danielle Harris, Dee Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, Tony Todd, Dave Sheridan, Mark Holton, Felissa Rose, Tim Reed from WKRP in Cincinnati. I know he's not horror, but I want to include him anyway.
It was also the dad and sister.
And he was in It, wasn't he?
Yes.
TV miniseries? Yeah, never mind. So there's his horror connection.
Yeah.
But everybody is in this movie. What is this all about? And
Terry Alexander.
What can you tell us about it?
Yeah. Oh my God. There are even people that they haven't announced yet. This is like being on, I mean, I wasn't able to meet everybody on set and stuff like that, but like just being on set for the time I was on set was amazing because I'm on set with all these. Okay, he's back.
Sorry.
But I was on set with all these amazingly talented actors that I grew up watching in films.
Yeah.
And especially one of the real treats for me was to be on set with, be able to watch Jeffrey Combs' work. That was like a master's because he's such a great character actor. And I was like, I wasn't necessarily in the scene with him, but I'm like, can I just come and watch you work? And they're like, oh yeah, go ahead. Come in. And I was like, I don't need to pay for classes. I can just come in and watch Jeffrey Combs do his thing on set. And I'm just like fascinated. I'm just learning so much from watching him do his thing. I was like, this is amazing. But that's just how the whole thing was, seeing Dee Wallace work on set. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, oh my God, she's so good.
Yeah.
I was a kid in the candy store. I just felt so freaking lucky to be a part of that. It's just like I'm one of the killers in it, so I actually have a pretty big part in it. But still, I felt more honored just to be there because just the vast amount of talent that is in this film is just like, this is amazing. It's like an Expendables version of a horror movie.
Yeah.
By the way,
No
spoiler
Colonel.
alert, Killer, he mentioned it, that wasn't us, and anybody that's
that's already out there.
It's pretty that part's pretty much known, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I know the other project that you're attached to in the future, these other two guys are really excited about, Night of the Living Dead 2. Colonel, you want to jump in on that? Or
That's more Zach's thing.
That's more Zach's thing?
He
I'll
wanted
say
to
it.
ask this. I won't be a dick.
I would have bowed gracefully, Colonel, of course, but I actually was talking to the director, Marcus,
Yes.
and we had it all set up. I mean, this was supposed to release last Halloween, this movie, and then I'm assuming it's probably something to do with the characters involved and what they're doing, because it does look like a continuation of Day of the Dead, and we know you appear as a zombie in this thing.
Yeah.
But what can you tell us about Night of the Living Dead 2?
I really can't say much because actually it wasn't supposed to release last year because that we just shot a sizzle reel last year.
Yeah,
but there's been other stuff that's happened behind the scenes that
you know what? It was a countdown or something saying the announcement is going to come out.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So
he's been working on the script though, and it's like he had a huge hundreds of pages of a script that he wrote, like an epic, like Tolkien-ish type of script that he wrote for this thing that he's been trying to pare down into a film. And I'm like, so I have no idea. I know I'm not going to be able to, I think, play the character that I was for the sizzle reel, which you've seen probably the photos of me as a big fat zombie.
Yes.
Right.
That was that there's stuff going on behind the scenes there, but I'm going to be in it somehow.
Is it still happening? It is still happening.
Oh, yes, it's very much still happening. It's just, they're just finishing up the script and all that kind of. I'll see Marcus in a few days, just get an update from him because he usually updates me and things.
I had an email and a contact, and we were going back and forth, and he's like, "You actually care about this?" It's like, yeah, we would love to talk to you about this. Are you kidding me? You got 3 of the original actors from arguably the last great Romero zombie movie. Yes, we want to fucking talk about it.
God, I mean, it's like, 3 of them are just fantastic. Especially Jonathan and Terry. I just love both of them. They're just awesome dudes. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Terry several times too. Just going over to his place and hanging out and just drinking beer all night with him and some of the other guys and stuff like that. Just like this is so surreal. Just hanging out in Terry Alexander's apartment, shooting the shit. This is awesome. He's such a cool dude.
All right, good. Well, I'm happy that that's still going to happen.
Oh yeah,
because
it's still happening.
All his contact, none of the emails are valid anymore. It's all so.
Oh, I know. I think we were supposed to film it sometime this year, but it's whatever this epic script he's been doing. I think also fundraising and stuff like that. It's been going on too. So a lot of stuff that's out of my control. I'm just sitting here just waiting for a script in my hands.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, tell him to get a hold of us. We'd love to talk to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Marcus, he's a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah. What about you mentioned the Killing Joke and how kind of the Terrifier story is a little bit similar to that. You did the Killing Joke monologue at that panel in Cincinnati. Was that back in March?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Wow. It's hard to believe it's that long ago now. Wow.
Yeah. We had a clip of that we ran because we filmed a lot of the panels back in the day. We had a clip of that we ran on our channel a while back, and it was very well received.
Awesome. Thank you.
But would you say that the Joker is probably like one of your dream roles to play at some point?
Oh, definitely. I have played him once before, but on a YouTube series for a fan-made series. But that's been like my lifelong dream role to play is the Joker, because I want to do him right. I'm tired of Hollywood fucking up the character left and right. It's like they all try to make him creepy, and it's like no. Joker doesn't try to be creepy, except for the one time he cut off his face and reattached it. That's like the only. It's like he's not a creepy guy. He's a showman. He's very charismatic. And it's just like it just seems like Hollywood in the past decade or so has just not understood that about the character, at least in like the live action versions. Like that DC animated versions, they nailed the character. I'm like, especially of course Mark Hamill is the ultimate version of him. Mark Hamill is the Joker. He understands that character better than anybody else, I think. But it's like that's who I base a lot of my portrayal on, is because I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna, go from anyone, go from the best. And I take a lot from what Mark did and put it into my performance, because it's like, yeah, that is the essence of the character. Even before I heard Mark do Batman the Animated Series, Joker, when I was reading the comic books as a kid, that's almost what he sounded like in my head. So It's like, yeah, when I first saw the animated series, it's like, oh my God, he brought him to life. It's like, oh Lovely. My God, this is so good. And that's what I want to do. I want to actually bring the page version of Joker to life and like have him look like him, have him act like him. It's like, I don't know why why Hollywood just can't do that.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard?
Well,
was that your choice, that look for that webisode, that series you did? That was kind of your choice for the Joker look, or was that the production's?
It was both. It was both. I think that's why I was very interested in it too. It's also just the way they wrote the character. The writer for that understood how to write the Joker properly.
To me, he looked like the Cesar Romero version.
Yeah.
He looked like that, yes.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah.
Since we're talking about it, Since we're talking about it, we do have a small clip from the web series Nightwing Escalation that you can catch on YouTube. Yeah. Let's check this out. Let's take David back in time a little bit.
I am so glad that you remember me. Oh, I have been absent from the headline for far too long. Time to change that.
I love that part.
Well. Oh, you thought you were the hero of this story, eh, Stripey, my boy? Oh, I'm afraid you are nothing more than a pawn. And unfortunately for you, I suck at chess. So
anyway, we found
boy.
we found that earlier, and yeah, what was it like working on something like that, even as a fan film kind of web series?
God, that was fun. It was just like I said, they wrote Joker so well. It was just like that's the type of dialogue he has. It's so many double entendres, so much. He's a master wordsmith. He loves to play around with the English language, and that's what I love about the character. He's all about the monologues, the showmanship, and this is. That's what it's like. Especially when you see the rest of that scene, it's such a good Joker moment. It's just like,
yeah.
I had more, but I didn't want to drag it out too long. So.
But that's what I'm like. That's what I want to bring to life more, is that Joker of the comic book that is really good about just messing with people and psychoanalyzing. Because they always say he's crazy. He's like, no. He's actually super sane. He's on a different level than everybody else. He understands how everything works, and he knows how to play everybody against each other.
All right. Well,
I love watching that. He's talked about it already. The Horror Hound, when you did the Killing Joke thing, it chills. I mean, I was looking at my arm, the hair was standing up. I was like, this is crazy, man.
Thank you.
Our friend Carrie from over in England asked, can you do the Killing Joke speech? It gives me the chills. I don't know if you want to do that, but I mean, everyone's kind of loving on the Joker, so. And Amber says, I'd love to see that. You do the Joker justice. And Carrie says, smashing it as the Joker. So everyone's loving the Joker stuff.
Yes.
Let's see. I haven't practiced it in a little while. So
since March, probably. Huh?
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay.
All right. Well, let's give him center stage.
Yeah. I'm working on it. There we go.
Remember? I wouldn't do that. Remembering's dangerous. I see the past as
oh wait, I've totally fucked this up. It's like, I see the path. I need the lines. Line. You can look at it. Yeah, it's like let's see. Let me collect my thoughts for a second. Past.
In the mean.
There we go. Yes.
There you go.
Oh, remember. Ooh, I wouldn't do that. Remembering's dangerous. I see the past is a worrying, anxious place. The past tense, I suppose you'd call it. Oh, memories so treacherous. One moment you're lost in a carnival of delights filled with the poignant childhood aromas, the flashing neon of puberty. Oh, that sentimental candy floss. The next, it takes you somewhere you don't want to go. Somewhere dark and cold, filled with the damp, ambiguous shapes of things you'd hope were forgotten. Memories can be vile, repulsive little brutes. Like children, I suppose. And there's more.
Yay!
Oh, yes.
There you go. There you go.
So
My
good.
roommate probably thinks I'm insane right now.
He's like,
There.
what the hell? There it is.
There you go, Carrie.
Oh, thank you.
That was
needs
just
more
for
prep
you out
time.
there, Carrie. Yeah, sorry. Shouldn't have sprung that on you, but
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
that
That was fun.
Well, one more Batman world that I wanted to bring up was you actually got to have a very small part in the Gotham series.
Yes.
Was this 2017?
2017, yes.
And
Wow, that was
I won't-
5 years ago.
Yeah, I won't show the whole clip, but you can find him in one of the, I believe it was season 4. So yeah, here we go.
So who's the vegetable?
Used to be a gangster. Name's Gilzine, maybe Gold. Took a slug in the noodle. Been in a coma 6 months.
So, Hospital Brass wants to free up some beds?
Yeah, say take him upstate.
I just love the fact that you have that laugh again too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I did. I
That
was
was
like,
great.
I'm like, even though I'm not gonna play the Joker on there, I gotta put a little Joker laugh in there just for shits and giggles.
God, I didn't miss that
How
show.
did that go over with the director? They just cut and move on, or were they kind of like, wait a minute, that sounded familiar?
They liked it. They liked the comedy angle that like the other actor and I added to the characters. They're like,
Nice.
It's crazy how that show was made though, because they had different director for each episode and stuff like that. So it wasn't
Right.
the same director for the whole entire, series, unfortunately. But like, they were like, God, we want to bring your characters back. But they never got to because writers and stuff like that. Because those that don't know, we that was Butch Gilzine, Cyrus Gold, aka Solomon Grundy, where we later on dump his body into Slaughter Swamp, which we create, Solomon Grundy. So I was like, oh, that'd been cool if he came back for revenge or something against us or something.
came after you guys, yeah.
Yeah, and we became like his goons. I don't know. Who knows what they could have done with us, but it never happened. But yeah, we had like the other actor and I, we had such a Laurel and Hardy Abbott and Costello type of thing going on with each other. And it wasn't really written that way. It was just the way both of us just played it. It was just like, we had fun. We had the crew laughing. And so I was like, hey, that's great.
Nice.
I love that
Well,
show. Yep.
Colonel, jump in here with something. I didn't mean to kind of take over for a minute, but I wanted to get those clips out of the way.
You're fine. I want to throw it back to Terrifier 2 for a sec, though. Call back. Please tell me we didn't get another shit scene. Is he actually using blood this time to write on the mirror? Please tell me.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's blood. That's blood.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, man,
Sure it is.
blood, but it might be fucking diarrhea again. I don't know. Maybe
There
it's
is a
blood.
nod to the shit scene, though, in
Oh,
the movie.
no.
I will say that. You'll know it when you see it.
I'm still trying to figure out how the hell they didn't smell him coming and tell that one.
Oh, I know, God. That's the thing I always think of too. Is like, when he has his hands over like Tara's mouth when he sedates her, I'm just like, he had shit on his hands.
Yeah, that's gotta smell awful
I
right
I was
now.
thinking too, man. What's with those fucking gloves, And what else? Everything that's been grabbed and touched and squeezed and
God. This
You definitely tell that was filmed in a pre-COVID world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No.
6 feet. 6 feet.
That's right. You can't touch me yet, clown. I got to put my hand sanitizer on. Hold on.
Oh,
You would have to bathe in a whole bottle of Purell after coming across him.
Lord.
Just those
this
teeth.
question. Yeah. This question actually leads to one of the viewer questions because S.
nice.
Michael wants to know, has your mother seen the Terrifier movies? And if so, what does she think of her sweet boy's handiwork?
Well, unfortunately, my mom's not with us anymore. She passed away when I was in college, which sent me on the whole trajectory I am now in life. It stopped me from being an elementary school teacher and going to a life of entertaining people instead. So, with that said, she was horrified of horror movies. She thought Fall of the House of Usher was the scariest movie she had ever seen.
Oof.
Which is saying a lot when you see that movie. It's just like, this is what, when I saw it, I was like, this is what scared you, Mom. This. It's like, oh. But yeah, but she was always my biggest supporter too. I'm like, any show I was doing, any time I was performing anywhere, even like right before she passed away, she tried her best to come. Like the weekend that she passed away I was doing a production in college, and she tried to come down, but her body just couldn't handle it because of the cancer. But yeah, she, I know if she was around, she would be thrilled, but she'd like, I love you, but I cannot watch this.
That might be the point where you're like, hey, Damien, can you give me a cut of the movie I can show my mom?
It would have to be like the pizzeria scene, the beginning part of the pizzeria scene.
Yeah.
And there might be like a scene or two in part 2 where she could have been like, oh, that's entertaining. I don't want to see anything else, though. No, okay, now you're going to a kill. Oh, God, no. Okay, stop. My baby.
Those are cute sunglasses, David. Thank you, but that's enough.
Yeah.
Oh God, is there a
She
story?
Off like crazy.
Oh, she would have been screaming and yelling at me. She's like, "What is wrong with you? Oh God, no!" I can hear her now. She would just like, "No, not you. No, you are not my son."
Well, we're sorry to hear about your mom and your loss of her.
Yeah.
That's like I said. It's like, oh, thank you, but
That's Michael says thanks for sharing about her.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Michael, and thanks for making things weird. Thanks, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like that. It's been 20 years, so it's like it's still hard at times. It still hits me at times and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And it's like that was our last conversation with each other before she passed away. It's just like she didn't expressly tell me to do this with my life, but she said, she imparted like the best wisdom she could have ever given me. She's like, you were given certain abilities that a lot of people don't have. Don't waste them. Life is too short not to do what you want to do with your life. Don't do what you think you have to do with your life. Do what you want to do with your life. And it hit me about a year later when I was in college and I was in my internship in the schools. And that same time, that month that I went back for my internship, my dog died, my grandmother died, a friend committed suicide, and my sister married a homeless man. And my brain just went, fuck.
Damn.
Like, yeah, I was like majorly depressed and very angry. And I was doing story time with my kids one day in the classroom, and I was doing all little voices for the characters in the story, and the kids were all laughing and having fun. They didn't want to go into the next subject. They wanted me to read more stuff, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's when it hit me. I'm like, this is what I need to be doing instead. I'm not supposed to be I'm not supposed to be educating people. I'm supposed to be entertaining people. This is what gives me fulfillment. This is what I want to do with my life. And so I often I've often wondered, if my mom had not passed away, would I be doing what I'm doing now, or would I still be teaching in a classroom in Alabama? So it's like, as much as that sucked.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there he is.
There he is.
You locked up for a second, I think.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Rose up.
There you go.
There he is.
Oh, nope.
No.
Zag, you rubbing your shitty Michigan Detroit.
It's not the Michigan internet, I swear.
It was fine when I was.
There he is.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
I
Oh.
see it just keeps on cycling. That was weird. Oh,
Yeah,
there we go again.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. We still got you now, I think. No, maybe not.
No, there he
I
goes.
just heard I keep hearing the thing go out.
You said he had no issues when I was on the bottom of the screen with him.
That's weird. It's the ghosts.
There you're back, and then you're gone again. Well,
But I think they followed him from the doll room in that house.
The doll came back to get him. Oh, man.
oh, shit. Is he there? He's there.
We'll give him a minute to see if he comes up.
Right.
And,
And
Okay. Oh,
I know. We need to do the big wrap-up anyway. Come on. Where you at? New York City?
yeah, he's in New York.
yeah, I'm in New York.
okay.
He freezes.
We heard that at least.
And then he freezes again.
Dang it. Well, I'll read some of the complimentary comments while we're
Yes.
trying to get him
There you
figured
go.
out here. Faye says, Art the Clown is a very well-designed and presented character, very smartly made to be appealing to a wide variety of horror fans. And, of course, he's a great actor playing him as well. Thank you, Faye. So hopefully he'll see that.
No.
That's a
Mine looks
question
all
for
jinky,
him.
too, man.
Yours is always janky.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he had no issues till you was on the bottom of the screen with him. Your shitty Michigan internet interfered with his New York internet.
No, I started seeing mine like he was lagging behind me, so I backed out just to see if it would catch, and then I went back in and put me down here. And yeah.
This might be. Let's see if he's cleaned up a little bit here.
He told me he's trying to reboot.
Oh, is he? Okay.
All right,
Then
we'll
we'll-
stall for a minute.
Yep.
Crazy guess, man. Boy, we could
Oh, dude.
bunches of stuff we haven't even got to yet. I mean,
I know it. Yep. Here's another one. Peter Anthony says, "Congratulations, David. Steve Barton and I discussed if it was possible for Art to have more gore. The answer was yes."
oh, see, it's music to our ears. Just that knowing that there were attempts made at
Mhm.
beating those scenes in the first one makes me happy.
All right, well, hold on. Well, you got some more comments you want to read, or you want to try to bring David back?
Is he ready?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's bring him back.
Hello.
There he is.
There we go.
That was weird. I kept on seeing all you guys cycling off the screen constantly. I was like, what's going on?
Like I was saying, Zigzag has apparently in Michigan they have very shitty internet, and you were doing fine when I was on the bottom of the screen with you, and he left and came back. I think that transferred over to New York for a little bit.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
I was seeing lagging. You were. I hear your voice, but you were talking behind it. So I went, okay, I'm going to back out and see if I catch up. And I came back in, and I was on the bottom. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, who knows? So
Here we
you're
are.
Bottom now.
Well, yeah, I know. I
He's a bottom.
thought of that. As soon as I said that, I went, oh fuck.
He's gonna remember that next time we're in an Airbnb together. I'm sure.
Uh-oh. Those aren't two pillows.
Jeez.
Great movie. Great movie.
Oh my
by the way.
God, such a great movie.
Oh,
Such a good movie. Oh God, I love that
where
movie.
is that? Where was that question I just saw? There we go. Lorena had a question for you. What character would you play if you could choose one, any genre? What character besides Batman? I guess, of course, or not Batman.
Yeah, of course.
Joker.
Yeah, besides Joker. Oh my God. It's between two, I would say. one's for stage, one's for film. Stage wise, because I'm a musical theater guy, and this is one of my favorite holiday movies, and I do not understand why they've never made this into a Broadway musical yet, because it lends itself so easily to one, because the music's already there and the music's already great. Is Nightmare Before Christmas. I want to play Jack Skellington so badly.
Wow.
And I think a stage adaptation of that could be amazing if you get someone like Julie Taymor behind it. They can do a lot of cool stuff with puppeteering and all that. It's like, oh my God, just bring Burton to life in that way. That would be fun. Another one. Okay, I do two more because another one just came to mind. I know I'm putting this one out in the universe because I know it's going to happen, but I don't know if me. I hope. But it's like, I know the Duffer Brothers are wanting to do a live action version of Death Note as a series.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
And I would kill to play Ryuk in that. Oh my God, I would love to play Ryuk. So put me in, coach. Put me in. Also, something, it comes from the comic world. It's been a movie before, but I think movies like Deadpool have proven that you could do this the real way now, would be to reboot the Mask series and do it like the original comic book series, where it was very violent and gory and over the top craziness. And you can make that a series because it was different people had the mask. It wasn't just Stanley Ipkiss. Different people took on the mask, and it's like each season could be a different person with the mask or something like that.
Yeah.
Too. But I'm like, I would love to have a chance to play Stanley Ipkiss at least.
Wow.
Interesting.
Because I am the real life version of Stanley Ipkiss when I think about it. It's like, oh my God, I am such a cartoon geek. So
I mean, I can see, it's weird, man. I could see Ace Ventura in you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
I don't think anybody else can play Ace Ventura other than Jim Carrey. That is
one of those guys.
That's just like, like when they did that Ace Ventura one where his son or something like that. That was just like,
wasn't it Jamie Kennedy?
No, that was The Mask too.
Yeah,
That was the Mask too. Okay.
Yeah, Son of the Mask. Yeah, which was
that
had nothing to do with Jamie Kinney's performance. It was just such a badly made movie. It was like, what happened? What happened? Yeah. But yeah, it's like Jim Carrey's the only one that could play Ace Ventura. That's his character. You can't take that away from him. That's God, what a character! God, I love those movies so much.
I like the Jack Skellington musical idea though.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas. That could be a lot of fun.
Especially
with what they're doing with stage musicals now.
Yeah, they put Beetlejuice on stage. Why can't they do that with Nightmare Before Christmas? I mean, that would sell like that. They would make money back like that.
You said it. It's already got. You don't have to write any fucking songs. They're already done.
The music's fantastic.
Yeah.
Plus, God, I just want to see Oogie Boogie's number done on stage. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I see that at karaoke every now and then. It's not as entertaining as you would think it would be.
Yeah, that's because you don't get the right people doing it.
Right.
That's true, though. That's true.
You get some drunk dude fucking.
Yeah.
It's normally three drunk sorority girls, but that's a whole different story. But
exactly. You get someone like what's his name that played the genie in Aladdin on Broadway. You get him to play Oogie or something like that. Or you just get one of the many actresses who played Audrey too. And it's just like, there you go. You got your Oogie. It's just like, you just get that good voice in there. It's just like Patrick, Kenneth Page's voice is just like, oh God. I mean, hell, he could probably still do it.
Feed me Seymour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not on Broadway, but I did play Seymour.
I would love to play Seymour.
In that play. That was fantastic.
I love that musical. I love Little Shop. Oh.
Yeah.
The music is so good. That music is so good. It's such a funny show too. So funny.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of you.
Don't be. It was a very small. I mean, it was fun, but it was very kind of small Oklahoma production. So
I'm from Alabama, so say no more. I know exactly. That's where I got my start.
yeah,
You
It
should have
was
seen our
fun.
version of not Little Shop, but of Fiddler on the Roof, where myself, our Goldie, our Zeidel, and our Tevye, we're the only ones speaking with a Russian Jewish accent. Everybody else is Reb Tevye.
we're like, hey y'all.
L'chaim. To life, l'chaim.
Oh god,
Just
yeah.
like, oh no.
I remember those kind of productions as well. So
Yeah.
one more viewer question I want to throw out here. Corbin wants to know, where do you think Art gets his creative kill ideas?
That's a good question. Where does he get those ideas from? Oh my
Let's
God.
dive into the psyche of Art the Clown.
I've got something for this. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me hear yours.
You can keep thinking though, because I that's something I always wondered was when Art is injecting these people to sedate them, how does he know what to use, A, and B, how much to use, and how to fucking find a vein in someone's neck when you're going to do that?
I think he just doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Oh, it's just,
If
hey,
it works,
could be-
if it sedates him, it sedates him. If it doesn't, it kills him. Oh well.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill him anyway.
Yeah, I kind of look at him as he's just improvs things on the spot most of the time. He sees what's around him. He's kind of like an evil MacGyver in that way. He's just like, yeah, a few things he throws a lot of stuff in his bag. So it's like, yeah, this could be fun to use. And like you see in the trailer for part 2 where he's got a table leg and he's putting all these like sharp instruments into it and stuff like this. Like, oh, this could be fun. It's like, but I think he just comes up with the actual kill scene on the spot. It's like, but he might be inspired because I know Damien's inspired from a lot of like medieval torture methods and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of stuff that can be done with just torture methods.
I would say the art of suffering. The art of suffering is a
art of
huge
suffering
theme.
Yes.
In Terrifier. And I love it when he's shooting the girl and runs out of bullets. The disappointment on his face as he goes to reload. It always stood out to me like, wow, man, that's, you know what I mean?
Hello, David?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. That's
Did I
good.
pop out again?
I think Zigzag. Okay. There he is.
I see
saw
you
you.
guys all look fine to me.
Technology.
Yes.
You gotta love it when it works.
It's
I don't
the
know what you
Russians.
heard. How much of that did he hear? Anything?
I think he was talking about the disappointment that you show on your face whenever you're shooting the girl in the face and you
You
run
out of bullets, and
Mm-hmm.
the disappointment on your face when you're just like, just absolutely annoyed that you had to pause the suffering to go reload.
Yeah.
That always stood out to me as one of my favorite Art the Clown fucking moments.
Oh, I love that moment because that's you don't often see the killer get frustrated with their own incompetence at times. It's like, I should have checked how many bullets were in this thing. Damn it.
Yep.
Besides Stream and Night of the Living Dead 2, what's next for David Howard Thornton?
Well, expect an announcement, I think, this week or next week about a Christmas horror movie that I've been working on. Oh, I was working on earlier this year. I filmed out in LA for a few days. It's based on a very popular American Christmas story, I guess you could say. And it's quite the mean one in it. So read into that what you will.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to say more until it's actually announced. But other than that, we're launching an Indiegogo campaign for this other movie called The Dead Place that I'm going to be filming early next year as well. I'm, of course, playing another bad guy in that, so that's going to be fun. I'm playing the new kid. So I'm going to be in. I think they launched the campaign tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'll be posting all that kind of stuff on my Facebook and Instagram page and stuff like that. So, if you can contribute, please do,
We'll definitely check it out.
It's another film with a lot of heart in it and stuff like that. It's just like we're a bunch of, filmmakers out here trying to make fun horror films for the fans instead of like the Hollywood engine just trying to spit out a bunch of just bleh.
remakes and everything.
Look, like I'll be honest with you, Halloween Ends. I'm so looking forward to watching that because I'm ready for that trilogy to end.
I'm ready for it to end.
I'm done. I just want to watch it and be done with it. Like, okay,
Yeah, it's hard to find a 70-year-old man scary.
yeah. And
Very
the
true.
scariest thing I've seen so far is the lady with the iron.
Yeah,
With the fight. Like, it's like, okay, she's not one I want to fuck with. Like that.
yeah.
She's the person.
Can you tell me too? This takes place in the Midwest. They didn't have guns. They didn't bring
I know,
guns. Really?
Yeah.
In America,
think.
in the Midwest.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
We're
And
just
then
happy.
they mistook like the Wish version of Danny DeVito for Mike Myers.
Yeah,
that was oh god.
I'm like, how? This is a city that knows this guy for 40 years, what this guy looks like. They have his image on TV, and they're like, you have this. Oh, that guy must be Mike Myers. He's wearing a gown.
Yeah. And the fact that it's a whole 20-minute scene of the fucking movie, like it's a good chunk of time we're stuck on that. Like,
God.
what the fuck?
I'm hoping Ends is going to be a lot better than the last one because I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
2018 was okay.
Hey, the
2018
beginning
was-
of Halloween Kills, the flashback was amazing too.
Oh my
That
god, that was the best part of the movie. I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow, like especially how much they made this guy look like Donald Pleasance. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing makeup. That was not CG. That was makeup, and I'm like, that's fantastic. And that set my expectations for everything else in the movie. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't
you,
blame the actors for it though. It's just
No.
It's like
Man,
except
James. I love
Except Anthony
James.
Michael Hall. I blame him.
I love that scene with James doing the knives like that. Just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, oh god, that was so freaky to me. I was like,
Yeah.
It had like the charm of the first one and the second one with that scene when he was doing that. Just the way he kept kind of looking up, grab another knife, chunk.
Yep. I liked that. I was like, see,
Yeah.
that's what that movie needed more of. It was just I can't really put my finger on what was wrong with it. It was just like something was missing.
Yeah.
An ending.
Well, we're gonna get that now.
Well, Jamie Lee was missing from most of it.
Yeah,
that's a big
that's
part
the
of
whole. Let's face it, that's the fucking appeal to this whole trilogy was to say goodbye to Laurie Strode one more time.
Yeah, because it's like that's the thing. It's like the villain's great and all, but if they don't have a worthy adversary, it's just not as fun.
Yeah,
it's like you need the Sydney, you need the Alice or Nancy, you need God, if Ripley versus the aliens. It's just like you need that going on, and that I think that's what was missing in part 2. You didn't have that
you
fight
had going after the B list.
Yeah,
basically,
people you just didn't care about.
Yeah, exactly.
And the mass slaughter too. And he stands up and just destroys everybody. Just all these legend characters just gone in a blink.
Yeah.
I didn't like that ending.
Gone like Jackie Chan on them too. It was like,
Yeah.
When did he learn how to fight like this?
What about convention appearances? Do you have any of those coming up?
Yeah. God, I got so many coming up, especially this next year. I mean, like I already have 16 booked for next year.
Good God!
I'm like,
I'm sure we'll see you a few times.
Yeah, I'm doing basically all the Days of the Dead. I'm doing Horror Hound, Texas Frightmare. All that. Doing a Mad Monster Party in Arizona again. So I'm doing a lot of big ones, but I'm gonna be. I have a few more this year. Like I'm doing a haunt next weekend in up in Michigan.
Yeah,
and then I'll be posting about that soon.
I may see you there.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. Come on out. Going to Manchester, England in 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks. So that's going to be fun.
Nice.
For the love of horror, which is going to be fun. And I think I have something in Corpus Christi or something like that later on in November. And then I'm doing Spookala down there in Florida in December.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I heard about that one. So
got
there
a
you
busy year.
This is
What,
like the beginning week.
Yeah.
You just went to the Colorado Festival of Horrors, of which we're actually sponsors of. How was that convention?
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. I had so much fun. Because that's one of the first ones they've done too, and so
It was their second year, I believe.
yeah. Because we had they've been trying to get me from the get go, and we had to turn it down first off because of COVID, then last year because I was booked at another thing. And so this year we finally made it, and we had a blast. He runs a good show.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
had a great time.
We're gonna get up there eventually. We haven't actually been to that one yet, but they've been on
it's
our
growing.
show, and we've been on theirs. So
Oh yeah,
It's growing. I think they're going to have a bigger venue next year for it because it was kind of cramped this year.
already good. That's a good thing to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very good people. Took good
Well,
care
I know
of
we'll
us.
definitely see you at Texas Frightmare, because I
Yep.
know that's one that we're absolutely going to go to.
Yeah,
And we'll probably see you at least one of the Horror Hounds, probably both.
right. 'Cause they go back to Indianapolis next August, I think.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's good. Those are good shows. Those are
Oh,
good
yeah.
shows.
Huge.
We're hoping to get into Monster Mania as well. So
I think after this week, you guys will be able to write your own ticket wherever the fuck you want to go.
that's the hope, and I hope it's just not going to be me. I hope it's going to be the rest of the crew as well. I know like Lauren and Elliot are going to have their first big one. I think when we do the one in Florida in December, so I'm excited for that one. So I couldn't leave them hanging for that one. So
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I got to go. This is their first one. I'm not gonna miss out on that.
Oh fuck, we
I
need a
wanna be
panel
there.
with everybody
Yeah.
up there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great seeing you and Damien rap. I mean, but man, just to hear everybody's now part of this universe.
Yeah.
They've got stories too.
Oh yeah, and I want to hear everybody else's stories. I'm tired of it all
Yeah.
just being about me. I mean, like Lauren's got some great stories herself. I know Elliot does as well, and so do our other cast members, Casey and Kaylee, and all them. Oh my god, I can't wait for you to see all these people in this movie. Oh my god.
I know Sean. I know Sean has already tapped Elliot and Lauren as clients of his now
Yes.
too. So,
Yes.
though I would assume he's already trying to pitch like some. Hey, let's get some panels going. So,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I made him from New Jersey all of a sudden.
Hey,
I did.
Hey, we gotta get. Hey.
Well, this is it, man. Terrifier 2 hits theaters, folks. Let's make it number one
Thursday.
and get out there
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Go see it. There's like 2 showings a night. You can catch one of these fucking things and see it on the big screen. A big fucking movie with blood and guts. It's going to be
Yes.
amazing. Get the fuck out there and see it.
We don't hold back. We just don't hold back.
That's right.
That's right.
And
Very good.
once we get info about these upcoming projects you've got, the Indiegogo stuff, we'll put it in the link to this for people to see later. So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'd
I
love to
have
get
to
that.
tell you one funny thing that happened when we do the screening in Austin. Sarah, who plays the mother Barbara in this, during one of the kill scenes in the movie, even though she'd probably seen the scene already and read the script, knew what was going to be happening, in the middle of the scene, she just turns to Damien out loud and goes, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
The whole
Glorious.
audience just started laughing their asses off at that. It was great. So it's like, if that's getting a cast member who knows what's going to
Yes.
happen, it's like, you guys are going to have fun.
Well, like I said, I'm so damn pumped to see this movie. It's been such a long wait. It's finally here.
Finally.
Big screen. Oh my
Yes.
god! Like you have no clue how excited I am to see this on Saturday.
I'm like a little girl.
he can be sometimes. It's okay. Well, I'm pretty excited to see this too. I'm can't wait. I've got to do a little bit of a drive to get to a theater to see it, but
Yeah, it's worth it.
I'm okay with
It'll
that.
be worth it.
It's worth
You'll
it.
be thinking
But-
about that the whole ride back.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm looking
What-
at about 30 minutes, but still,
Oh,
I don't care. It could be 2 hours. And I'd be like,
I'm looking at almost
yeah.
2 hours. So
Yeah.
It wouldn't have fucking mattered.
That's commitment. I appreciate it, man.
yeah, no, not a problem at all. But what is wrong with Damien?
his
I don't know,
name's
because he's-
Damien. He's named
perfectly
after the snowman.
normal in real life. That's the funny thing. He's like the coolest, chillest guy in real life. You would never know he had these thoughts. It's like, Jesus. Like, he'll text me things like, God, that's so fucking twisted. I love it.
It's a great partnership,
Lovely.
man, and we're just reaping the benefits of watching you guys work, man, and just keep it
Yeah.
up. We fucking love it.
Yeah, well, I know one thing's wrong with him. He looks at crime scene photos, because I know he came up with like one of the kill scenes for part 2 from the crime scene photo of one of Jack the Ripper's victims.
Mm.
It says this woman that was just totally just dismembered, disemboweled, everything, and it's just like, you can see the photo. It's like he took that photo and was like, let's deconstruct this.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see how we got to this point, and that's how he came up with probably the big scene in part 2.
Oh,
So,
Oh, all right. I know you've heard this 100 times already. I'm gonna throw it at you too.
Oh.
Do you feel the scene has been eclipsed from part 1?
I
In
think
your heart
so.
of hearts, in your
Yeah.
blood, blackest blood, do you feel you've done it?
I think in just pure depravity and maliciousness, yes, and gore, yes. I don't know if it's going to shock people as much, because like people just were not expecting that hacksaw scene in the first one. No one expected us to show. Now they're expecting us to show something crazy and over the top. So you're not going to have that shock factor the same way, but I still think you'll be shocked at what we're doing and the extent to what we're doing it at.
I love it, but I also remember a big add-on crowdfunding that said we're going to take all this fucking money and go crazy and make sure that we get this shit. So I mean that.
Oh yeah. Oh wait,
and-
there's another scene that most of that money went into.
Yes.
Yeah, that scene in itself is pure craziness, and it was probably my favorite part to film with the whole movie.
See, I love it because he's speaking of another scene that is going to be more. He's saying it's worse than that first.
I
one.
wouldn't say it's worse than it's like kill scene wise. It's not worse, but it's crazy. It's a fun.
That's what I
crazy
mean.
scene.
And that's what I mean. Fun and crazy, just
Yeah.
over the fucking top. That's what we want.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's a
All
scene
I've
that's
seen-
been so much shorter, and we're like, oh fuck it, let's just go have fun with this scene.
All I've seen is something referred to as the bedroom scene.
Yeah.
I don't
And,
even fucking want to know that.
What?
I have literally only seen headlines of the reviews, like, "Oh, Terrifier 2 is great." That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know too. That's all you need to know. The bedroom
All right.
scene.
The bedroom
There you
scene.
go.
Okay.
Because that's what people are going to be talking about, the bedroom scene.
There you go.
I
There
can
you
live
go.
with that. That is a good tease because that now has me excited. And I'm
I
smiling.
didn't read any further. I saw that and I was like, nope, I can't read any
Good.
further.
I'm glad you did it, because I don't want that spoiled for you.
No,
So I've read reviews, a lot of reviews, and they really haven't spoiled what happens in that scene. So I'm very happy with that.
Well,
Good.
you've been around that the clown appreciation page on Facebook, and their administrators are great. They won't
Yeah.
even. If there's any spoiler, we're not going to post it. I'm all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not even. I've wanted to post a lot of reviews, and I've seen spoilers in them, so I haven't really been posting the reviews because of that. Because I'm like, yeah, I just want to keep that away from people, especially some things that have been revealed. I'm like, oh man, I want people to be surprised. But
Few more
you know,
days, man.
a few more days, then fuck it.
And
You've
then,
had your
and then we're
chance.
going to talk about it forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Come Sunday,
Yeah.
all hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah. Well, man, David, thank you so much for being on and joining us for tonight and having such an open discussion about all of this and past, present, future. This has been great. We really appreciate it. And, man, wish you the best of luck and the whole crew, Damien, Lauren, everybody.
Thank you.
Just
I hope
wish you the
can-
best of luck for this.
Thank you. I hope you can get a lot of them on here as well. Pick their brains, especially Lauren. I'm sure she's got a lot to say.
And I'm not going. I just want to hear Lauren's story, so I know she's terrified of clowns and why.
Oh yeah.
Like how she handled this.
Oh yeah. You'll have to ask her what I would do to her from time to time. So.
Oh man.
It's amazing I came out of this unscathed because she would have kicked my ass. She could totally have kicked my ass because she has 19 plus years experience in martial arts training. So I was really risking my life doing what I did to her. But it was funny.
Right.
It was funny.
Wow.
I'm such an asshole.
We'll definitely be reaching out to her. I would love to sit and talk with Damien at some point. And next time we are at a con together, we have to see you sing because we have heard that it is phenomenal.
We've heard you belt it out, man.
I do enjoy singing. I was a singer before I was anything else, oddly enough. So I'm a musician.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, it's either Somebody to Love or Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm a big Queen fan, but
Queen. Wow.
I'll do other things too. I'm known to throw out some Disney here or there. It's just it's funny. You can be at a place with all kinds of types of people, like bro types, Wall Street assholes, all that kind of stuff. You start singing Disney, all of a sudden everybody becomes a kid again, and they're like. You would think people are like, oh, why the heck are you singing a Disney song? But everybody's like, oh my God, Disney.
They know every word too.
They know every word.
Yeah.
You do that, then like, I'll make a man out of you, and you hear every single guy in there just has run up there. Let's get down to business. It's funny. You'll see every type of guy all of a sudden just come together. We got to sing this song together, guys.
It's bizarre, but you're right. And I work karaoke in a college town, so I see it all the time. After one person sings a Disney song, then like everybody wants to sing Disney after that.
They do the whole catalog all of a sudden,
and it just breaks out, and it just becomes like a waterfall of Disney tunes the rest of the night.
It tells you something, man. It digs into nostalgia. It takes you back to a simpler time in all of our lives when we were kids, without a worry in the world, and you just enjoyed life. Yeah, and I think that's part of it.
Watching those fraternity boys just dancing around the pool tables, singing along to the songs while somebody else is singing them, though, is bizarre to me sometimes.
Even if it's like Little Mermaid, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Seeing like bros be like, I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing. Yeah,
I've seen it. Happen. It happens a lot.
They're doing Frozen.
Ziggy, Colonel, you want to one last thing with David before we let him out?
No. Just want to thank you for coming on. Like I said, just so ready for this movie, man. That's what I was going to say. So thank you for coming on. This is huge for us. We appreciate it, and I look forward to letting you know very nicely what I thought of the film.
Thank you.
Since I can actually ask you questions about Terrifier 2.
It's going to be great when I can finally talk about it all.
Right.
Oh, I thank you guys. This has been fun chatting with you. This has been fun.
And I'll wait for my viewing because I honestly believe Art the Clown can stand with the big ones, the big guys. And I'm going to give you your day in court this week and this weekend in the theater. And we'll get back to you on that too and see if you indeed earn that spot, because I think it is, man. I think it's inevitable. I think he deserves to be there. Hey, man, just keep bringing it. Keep fucking bringing it.
I intend to.
My argument was, let's see what happens in T2. So, because I'll be honest, he's trying to throw me under the bus right now, but I'll be honest, I'll come out. We had a tier list that we were trying to discuss recently, about a month or so ago. Ziggy throws you up in the A tier, and I was like, no, not yet.
Which is totally reasonable to me because, there's only been really 1-2-ish films of the character so far, so it's like we haven't been truly able to show where this character can go yet.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I
And I'm
love
biting
the
my
fact
tongue.
that he's subtly defending his case still.
I'm not.
A month later.
David, there were many strange parameters, and it wasn't really clear. It was very muddy when we went around this. But hey, listen, I still think it's not even because of that list. I think Art the Clown is that fucking good, and I'll leave it at that. Yes.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'm like I said earlier, I'm hoping this is going to bring about a whole new era of horror villains. That's what I'm like. I've talked to my buddy Damon Maffei a few times because he's the man in the mask in Strangers 2 Prey at Night. He was the devil in Haunt. It's like we're both big, huge horror fans. We want to see this happen. We want newer characters. I was stoked for like Pearl coming out. I'm like that. Oh, cool. Now we have a female slasher icon. Mm-hmm. This is great. Let's have more of this. We need new blood.
Agree. I completely agree.
Agreed. Yep. Absolutely. Well, excellent, man.
There
Thank you again for coming on. And Terrifier 2, ladies and gentlemen, in theaters Thursday, October 6th. Get your asses to the theater and see it. And don't forget to sign up for David's Cat's OnlyFans account as well. And
thechocolatestar.com.
Yes. Brought to you by WAP.
Wow. There you go. On that note, I think that's it. Thank you, man, again for joining us, and we'll see you on the other side, as I say. So,
take care, guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Dave.
Art the fucking Clown, folks.
Yes.
Art the motherfucking Clown, right there. David Howard Thornton, such a cool cat, man.
I can exhale now, dude.
Man. Always fun to talk to you.
That was a blast
for hours. No, we kind of did. So
yeah, we got the 2 hours out of him almost. An hour 50. So I mean,
yeah.
But I'm glad we got to deliver on something that we said. It would have been worse saying, "Well, yep, that kick-ass show we were going to do. Well, we're not doing it now."
I'm glad it happened. Yeah. You got lucky.
Colonel, well done, sir. Well done.
Colonel worked his ass off to get this one done today.
Lock this down, okay. So,
well, and hopefully he goes back to Damien and the rest of the crew and the cast and says, "Hey, go on with these guys. They're good."
I put the feeler out there. It was David, Damien, and Lauren. All three.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey. So
I
tried.
Oh,
well,
man.
still, I mean, if you had to just pick one of them, I mean, hell, I would have taken any one of them too. But I mean, to get Art the Clown himself, it's the cherry on the sundae. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, that's the get. All right, one last time, I want to thank our members for supporting us. Our final girls: Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone. And our crazy Ralph Raymond, and our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. Thank you all for watching. This has been a great night. I'm glad it all worked out. Next week. Is that confirmed, Ziggy, next week?
Not yet, but I should know bright and early tomorrow.
All right. Well, then I can't tell you tell you what's coming next week.
If you're an astute watcher of the show, we've mentioned it before. So something that we've worked on in the past and with a previous guest.
Wait, no, it's not that one.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, that guy's confirmed. Yes.
Okay.
The haunted town, right?
NT.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Then I can't. God
you
damn
can.
it.
I thought
your calendar.
Talking about
get your calendar straight. God damn it. All right. So we're gonna have Nate Thompson, who just basically bought a fucking town up in where? Indiana?
No, it's Irish Hills, Michigan.
Okay. You tell him who he is then.
He's a filmmaker, and he's originally from this area. And there was an old tourist trap back in the 70s and 80s around here called Irish Hills, Stagecoach Stop, Prehistoric Hills, all this Mystery Manor. You had the water that runs uphill and all kinds of goofy things like that. Closed down years ago, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. This guy swept in, bought it up, going to put in like a whole kind of goofy, the kind of macabre stuff, like a store that sells you like almost, I don't know if it's going to be like Halloween props per se, but just oddities and stuff like that. And they're going to have year-round haunted houses, and they're going to be like all kinds of just horror-themed eateries and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to talk to him and see what the hell's wrong with him and his mind to do something like this. But I mean, it sounds amazing. And Michigan is sorely in need of more haunted houses. I mean, and this sounds like something a little bit different than your standard open once for 30 days and then it's gone for the year. This is going to be a year-round thing. So we'll figure out what he's into, and we'll talk. I'm sure he's got talk about some of his movies too. But I mean, yeah, a Halloween town year-round, and sounds interesting.
Nate Thompson is his name, so that'll be our guest for next Monday. It should be an interesting show. I love the fact that you guys were trying to figure out who we could be talking about or what topic we were going to do. As Michael says, top 5 midgets in horror. I still go with the lady in Poltergeist.
Billy
1.
Barty.
Never mind. And then Carrie says, the Iron Lady from Halloween Kills is coming on.
That's brilliant. I love that too.
I'll make a call.
Yep. Let's see. Evil dies tonight. Evil press tonight. No, I don't know.
Okay. Evil irons tonight.
Yeah.
Any final words there, Colonel?
No, it's just a great show. Thanks for joining us tonight. Wow. And well, eventually I might put my thoughts out for the Munsters and everything. We might eventually circle back around to that and Hocus Pocus 2 and Smile. And let's just say there was a lot of movies watched.
Yeah.
The case. So, yeah, I'll definitely get my thoughts out there. And don't get sick. Wash your dick. And don't smell like Scuba Steve. You Summer's Eve.
I would have gladly traded all the movies we watched this week for what we just had. That was fucking awesome. And thanks, you guys, for being there to witness it. And it's just unbelievable on this end, too, just being able to talk to somebody that we respect like that. So, fuck yeah, man. I love it. DCS up and above. We're going. And going to Halloween Town next week. We'll see you then.
That's right. One last thing I want to mention is thank you guys for the 1,000+ subscribers that we now have. We wouldn't have been able to do it. We absolutely would not have been able to do it without you guys, and especially the ones that tune in every week, that are here every fucking week, and just giving us shit. Also cheering along with us, and the fact that you guys tonight, especially asking great questions, we appreciate that. It was funny because every time, like the first few questions that got posted, I was like, well, shit. And then I went to my notes and was like scratching them off my notes. I was like, well, I can't ask that now. Someone else is going to ask that. Patricia. But yeah, great job tonight, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week whenever we go to Halloween Town. Is that what he's calling
it? I don't know if it's called Halloween Town.
It's a Disney movie,
but it's like we'll have all the whole details with him next week. It's like I said, I talked to him like a month ago was the last time, and everything was straight. And he was like, "Yep." I will be in touch with you the week before. So that is today. So,
all right. Well, yes. There you go. Get on that.
I'm on it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in again. Oh.
Sorry.
Colonel just said, fuck you guys. I'm out. You guys are taking too long. Good night, folks.
We'll
see you
night.
next week. Woo!